Coming up in the video today. So in the month of October, without buying any cards, without doing anything extra, from just doing what I was doing anyway, I've managed to win, yield and reap the benefits of the squad and of the club that I've got. Now that brings me on to my first kind of pro tip for you guys in the video, okay? This guy also won me, Joe David, when I finished first. He also won me, Florian Wirtz, when I finished second. And it was a great servant to the club. I said my first ever card, so it goes with a heavy, heavy heart. But when I went through my trading activity, I was pleasantly surprised at how much patience I was managed to cash in and how much my patience actually managed to return me. It's always hard to sell cards because when they're good and they're in form you want to use them, and equally when they're not you don't really want to sell them for the price they're going for, so you need to always try and find that kind of happy middle ground. The headline transfer I had of the month, but it was clearly Virgil van Dijk. I sold him for 1.6 Ethereum, which at this point in time is just over £5,000 sterling. And then with the Van Dijk money I replaced Van Dijk with two cards, 4.9 Ethereum, there's a wee bit of change on the end there, which is just over £16,000. Hello, I am Quinny, welcome to the channel. In this video today I have got the ultimate breakdown, explainer guide, whatever you want to think of it as, for how you actually make money playing Sorare Global Fantasy Football. If you're new to Sorare, I've got other videos that will be linked at the end of this one that will break down all the basics to help you get set up and started, all that kind of thing. If you're returning, you've been on the channel for a while, you're going to have a lot of fun. You're going to see some of the stuff we've been getting up to in October, and by golly, it has been a record-breaking month for me, certainly. If you are watching this and you haven't even opened your Sorare account yet, the link in the description down below entitles you to a free card once you've bought 5 from the market. It's the way everyone starts Sorare. Everyone wants to get as much free stuff as possible to give themselves a jump start on the platform to get ahead of the game as quickly as possible. And if you open your account without a free card, you're definitely behind the 8 ball compared to the rest of the competition out there. Link in the description down below. Let Sorare know I've sent you and you get a free card to get you up and running and get you competing in a level playing field with everyone else out there. Don't forget guys, at any point in the video, you laugh, you learn, you like something, whatever, please do subscribe to the channel, like the video, helps me a lot. Like, subscribe, share, retweet, all that good stuff guys. Stay out of trouble and let's get stuck into it. Now the easiest and kind of cleanest part of all this is my SO5 activity. So again, if you're new, what that means is the teams I'm entering into play fantasy football, the cards I'm winning, I'm pulling them out, and then if I don't want them I sell them, if I want to keep them I keep them, kind of thing. So the last time we did this, we finished up with game week 204, I want to say it was, or game week 205, back at the end of September. This is everything we're talking about in the video, just covers what I've done in October, nothing more, nothing less, okay? So I want a Barreal and a Florian Wirtz, this rare and limited card you see here, but I've not sold them, so they're not going to come into any of the factoring with this. Now, what I want you to pay close attention to, this 2 rows of cards here are basically everything I've won, mainly sold as well, within October. Now, what I want you to pay attention to is the positions that I've actually finished on. So I've not been out podiuming and spanking out, you know, big scores and really taking the table by storm. I've finished 358th, I've finished 92nd, I've finished 60th, 19th, 312th, 29th, 27th, 5th, 16th, 135th, you know, so I'm not going out there and absolutely spanking the leaderboard and, you know, rocketing up with podiums and all that kind of stuff, okay? Now, this is Sorare data. If you've not been on Sorare data before, again, there's a link in the description down below to take you to the website. You can go into your manager page and you can check your stats. I can do this for you. You can do this for me. It's all transparent. It's all on the blockchain. What I'm going to do here is highlight kept players, okay? So you can see the players I've won in the month of October that I've kept. Very little, okay? So I just won a Yoon Bit Garam, who I'm told reliably is the Korean Kevin De Bruyne. It's worth nothing now, basically, so I'm just going to keep him to next season. Limited cards I don't really sell, just because they're worth so little, and that's just the way I'm attacking the limited kind of strategy. But as you can see, the rest of the rares that I've won here, I've managed to successfully sell them all very quickly after winning them. Now, I've done all the maths for you. You can dive into this. As I say, it's all transparent on the blockchain. You can go and check it out for yourself. But I've sold all those cards. And on top of that, we also have a division called Global Rare, where if you hit a certain amount of points, regardless of where you actually finish on the leaderboard, if you hit a certain amount of points, Sorare, for beating the game, they pay you some Ethereum, okay? So over the month of October, I've beat the game to the tune of 0.16 Ethereum over the month of October. At point of recording the now, that is circa 500 quid. Just for scoring 250 points a game week. About 500 quid, that is at the current time at the moment. All of those rewards you just seen, I sold all of them for a combined total of 1.6 0.623 Ethereum, which is just over £5,000. Okay, so from just my bare SO5 activity, I've managed to win enough cards and sell them and win some Ethereum on the global rare region, and in total it's coming into basically about 5.5 Virgin on £6,000, depending on the current price of Ethereum. So in the month of October, without buying any cards, without doing anything extra, from just doing what I was doing anyway, I've managed to win, yield and reap the benefits of the squad and of the club that I've got. Now that brings me on to my first kind of pro tip for you guys in the video, okay? I've been talking a lot on podcasts and other content that I've been featured on other channels, RotoWire, So Far So Rare, all these kind of places. And the main kind of theme I've had in my head over the last month or two is exercising patience. Now, what I actually realised when I'm into my trading activity for the month of October is I have been cashing in a lot of patience this month, you know. So a lot of people underestimate greatly what they can do over a long term, but they greatly overestimate what they can do in a short term. Now, if you were to open an account with Sorare, maybe you have already, a lot of people do come in and they get frustrated quite quickly because you can't just open an account, spend all the money in the world and get up and running. Now, if you have all the money in the world, yes, you can. The normal person, the man in the street, me and you, that's not possible. You need to slowly build and grow, sell something here, downsize there, upgrade there, that kind of thing. So what October's really shown me is I have been cashing in a lot of patience. And again, if you've been on the channel for a while, this is the last thing I'll kind of hit on with this point and we'll move on. But I've always been talking about making sure that you're kind of looking at key points in the calendar for you to attack. So I've been very vocal in saying like August to November is like my key time where I really need to kill. I really need to do big because of the cards I have, the composition of my gallery, my own targets and aspirations within the game and the platform, that kind of thing. And November, October, I beg your pardon, like we've just experienced, is one of those key months. So I expect this to be one of my best months of the year, don't get me wrong. I could be wrong, I hope I'm wrong. But like I said, when I went through my trading activity, I was pleasantly surprised at how much patience I was managed to cash in and how much my patience actually managed to return me. So I started off just by like letting little bits and pieces fall out the back of the gallery, cards I wasn't using, had no need or want for. Just different, you know, they just weren't really featuring too much. Some of them, if I bought them, I lost a bit on the ETH, but as you can see with ISCO here, like losing on ETH at this moment in time, depending on when you bought, isn't the end of the world really. I had a couple of summer transfers, Dorsch and Itakura. Both didn't work out in different ways. Dorsch just isn't really repeating his scores as of yet, and Itakura just didn't join Celtic, basically. So that kind of backfired. Bundesliga 2 is not covered as well, so he's completely useless in SO5 until that changes. But I managed to complete quite an interesting little trade. A guy wanted to trade his Dries Mertens, and this is what he asked for, and I was like, okay, I'll do that. See how he does from now till January at least. Grimaldo's a reward from the last month that we picked up, we managed to relieve ourselves of. Decent price. I had previously rejected a bid of 0.19, so a wee bit of egg on my face there. Fabregas, we actually sold for 0.2. Now, where did we get Fabregas? I actually was trying to sell an Aissa Mande super rare that I had won for 0.2, and this guy offered me 0.14 and Fabregas in exchange for him. So in the end, for the Mande, I've captured 0.3414, which is nice. Sangar, you know, he went off form a little bit. He was great for me when I first got him. He's great again now. I had him listed while his great form actually materialised on the pitch and somebody snapped him up. So, lesson learned there. Crepin Diatta, again, somewhere had a transfer where it's just not panned out for him this season at all. But I've waited to get him at a good point where he is coming in as a sub. He's still a high prospect and I managed to get a good deal on the exit, I think. Now, this is the very first card I ever bought. Gabriel Magalhaes leaves the club with a heavy, heavy heart. We didn't actually make any Ethereum on him, but we did pretty well on the fiat, as you can probably imagine. But this guy also won me. Joe David, when I finished first, he also won me. Florian Wirtz, when I finished second. And it was a great servant to the club. As I said, my first ever card, so he goes with a heavy, heavy heart. But it was just too crowded in my club. I have no need for him. And let the bird fly, you know. But the Joe David he won me, I've actually sold for 0.45, which at that point in time was 1,500 quid, which is fantastic. And that Joe David, as you might imagine, was a very good servant to me. Now, it's always hard to sell cards because when they're good and they're in form, you want to use them, and equally when they're not, you don't really want to sell them for the price they're going for. So you need to always try and find that kind of happy middle ground of it's a great price to sell at, and you've got some good utility out of it. And as you can see with the Gabriel and the Joe David, I've managed to do that in spades, which is fantastic. The headline transfer I had of the month, but was clearly Virgil van Dijk. I sold him for 1.6 Ethereum, which at this point in time is just over £5,000 sterling. I picked him up for half of an Ethereum, which at that point in time was £1,000 sterling, so that was a great trade, and the numbers are very lovely to hear. So yeah, great trade. Celtic player, one of the best players on the platform. He goes with a heavy heart. I didn't actually make much use of him SO5 wise, truth be told. He has kind of replaced himself with Mickey Yamain from when the Japanese season is on, which is nice. But yeah, hopefully we'll get him back in the future, who knows. So guys, in summary, my trading activity managed to pull us up to the whopping figure of 3.28 Ethereum, which point of recording, as you can see on screen, is just over £10,000 sterling. Which is an absolutely phenomenal amount. And as you've seen, guys, as I went through that, a lot of those deals, I didn't get out at tippy top prices. I done great in a lot of them, don't get me wrong, but I'm not like a mad tyrant on the market where I'm waiting for the absolute peak price for every trade. Sometimes it is just about the best thing for all involved, timing wise and logistically. You know, am I actually playing this guy? Is that size of ETH, is that amount of money an attractive proposition to me at this point in time? I've been waiting for Diatta, I've been waiting for Gabriel, I've been waiting for this one, that one, whoever, to come into that kind of period where people want to get them into their team because they're playing, they've got something to offer and whatever. And like I mentioned already, it is the hardest time to sell. It's always hard to sell, whether you're enjoying having the card and playing it, or whether they're not playing and the value of it is much less what you paid or what you actually think the true end value could be for you. So it's about trying to find that happy middle ground. I can't stress that enough. So our combined activity for the month of October rings in at a whopping 4.9 Ethereum. There's a wee bit of change on the end there, which is just over £16,000, which in 1 month of playing a game, and bearing in mind, guys, when I say all this stuff, a lot of these ingredients in this broth, I've been cooking away for the last 12 to 18 months, as you can see by how long I've held for some of these cards and how long the, you know, basically everything that you've seen so far in the video. So it is one of these things I can't say enough. Patience and having goals and objectives. I've been targeting this period of the calendar for as long as I've been making content, you'll know that. And it's about following through with plans, setting goals, and, you know, always keeping yourself in your lane, if that makes sense. Now, the third and most important part for me is what we're going to finish the video on, is actually how have I went about strengthening my club, how have I went about actually replacing those guys, because number one, they're out the gallery. I can only sell Van Dijk once, I can't sell him again, you know, he is a best player on the platform kind of thing. So with that money, how have I went about strengthening, what moves have I done with my gallery? It's going to be a quick little overview so you can see how I've went about that to finish the video out, basically. So these are the very first transfers I've done in October. I went and picked up 3 Zidane Certimirs. Now, I'm a big fan of limited rookies, so whatever happens in the rookie market, I'm always quite happy with the limiteds. You know, they're cheap enough to pick them up, and you know, as long as I actually get some good prospect about them, I'm happy to go pick up 2 or 3 at a time if I can. I picked up another 2 La Liga ticket cards, so I'll be going to a La Liga match thanks to those 2 guys I bought from the market. Somebody won them in a special weekly and decided to sell it. I've got a rookie Benjamin Sesko right before his price really popped and ran away earlier this month. A Barreal that we won, don't need to worry about him too much. So nothing too exciting there, because I say at the beginning of this month I hadn't really sold any of these big SO5 pieces, so I was just doing general market, ducking about. Oh, there's some ticket cards, oh, there's some rookies, a Florian Yaretz that we won, 3 rookies again, got a very loose tentative link to Man City, and I was like, oh, I'll just go buy 3 of him. Some more rookie limiteds, as you can see. I'm just looking to gather a little kind of hunch of them, you know, goalkeepers, midfielders, different guys at different clubs. The younger the better, really. Again, some more limited, Kun Aguero, some Inter Milan guys, Lautaro Martinez. I then went and got a Seattle stack because I've got a Christian Roldan, Jimi Hendrix Seattle jersey in the post on its way, so I thought I'll go get a little Seattle contingent. Went and done that, so it gives me some more activity, I suppose, in the limited division, and especially Champion America, so I can just roll out a full Seattle team every week blindly and just see what it does. I picked up a Max Arnold. I picked up a Daisen Maeda after he's been linked to Celtic. He's the top U23 striker in Japan, so it's one of these signings that, even if he doesn't move to Celtic, I'm probably not going to get burned as hard as I did on Koa Takura, because he's still a good performer, U23, whatever. I got a 1 of 100 Tyler Adams, which is an amazing card for me to be picking up. The price of it, I think, is absolutely ridiculous. I couldn't believe it. And I've got a kind of growing population in my gallery of 1 of 100 US men's national team cards. So that is a prized asset. Very good. I went and picked up some Maeda Limiteds. There's that Mertens. And there are a couple of rookies knocking about. Julian Araujo. So I've been looking to buy this guy since he came onto the platform, and he was always really expensive and he didn't really have a place in my team. So it was a nice opportunity. I think it's one of the cheapest Araujos ever purchased, Ethereum wise. I'm not got much utility left out of him, but he's somebody that I just want in my club, period. Managed to pick up a Jonas Hector, bolster my midfield, because even though I'm selling defenders like Gabriel and VVD and a striker and Joe David, I'm actually very well complemented overall in those areas. So my main thing when I was starting to get ETH in was get some proper Euro champion mids, and Jonas Hector and Max Arnold and Tyler Adams, when he plays, I think his all-round game will come to show itself, are great additions. And then with the Van Dijk money, I replaced Van Dijk with 2 cards. A Josko Gvardiol, who's U23 eligible for as long as you care to think of, and Angelino, who is a boss left back, will have the usual ups and downs a fullback has in SO5, but takes set pieces, can get goals and assists for fun. And again, the kind of price I got both of them for. The Van Dijk originally cost me half an Ethereum. I picked up both of these guys for a combined cost of 0.544. So I've sold Van Dijk bait for 1.6 here. Sold him for that. Basically taken an ETH and just put it to the sides. And then with the remaining change, went and picked up 2 replacements for a top 3 defender on the platform. So guys, in the future you'll see me doing videos, and some of these cards I might be relieving myself of when they hit form and they're exciting to have and the prices moved up and whatever. And it's important for you to see in a video like this as well, is when the roots do get put down. You know, a lot of these rookie cards, like I really do not see myself selling them for the foreseeable. And because I'm buying multiples, if these guys go on, like I'm thinking about especially like the guys that play in Champion Euro, how quickly some of these guys, their profile can really change, and the demand for them, their outlook on their career, everything, you know. So they're always cards I'm really excited to pick up. And guys, the very last thing we'll finish the video on is this is my hobby. You know, I also, with some of this money, that when I withdrew it, I went out and I spent like 300 quid in the toy shop. As you can probably tell, I've got a lot of really cool collectible toys. Spent 100 quid on a Mandalorian helmet. You know what I mean? Because it was Halloween, why not? And yeah, let the good times roll, baby. I hope you've enjoyed the video. At any point, if you've laughed, you've learned, you've liked something, whatever, please do like the video. It goes a long way to helping it get found, and it really goes a long way to supporting the channel, so I thank you if you do that. Like, subscribe, share, retweet, all that good stuff, guys. About to pop on screen now is a couple of videos that will help explain Sorare in a bit more detail to you if you are new to the platform and you want to find out how it works exactly. Take care. Bye-bye.